Welcome back to Dwarf Fortress, episode 2 of ConfusedGenius. We left our dwarves last time having just embarked. The time has not moved, it is paused. It's still the 15th of granite, and we just started looking around our embark location. And it's actually a pretty great embark location we've picked here. But it has a couple nitnoids we kind of want to pay attention to, and here's where you need to understand how maps and embarks are kind of built by Dwarf Fortress. If you recall, we made a 3x4 embark. We made it 4 wide and 3 tall. Centered in the far right is going to be our volcano. So you can see 1 zone, 2 zone, and then we drop down. We have 3 zone, 4 zone. So it's 4 wide, and then we have 1 up top and 1 on the bottom. So that's why you can kind of see this line. You'll often see this on some embarks where the different blocks had different altitudes assigned to them, and they all had deep soil, but they wind up knitting together, and so they make this cool cliff that goes down. We want to take advantage of that, but we need to understand what that means for the soil levels and for the rock levels. All of this has deep soil. At least that's what I recall it said. So if we started digging down right around here, we'd wind up with 5 or 6 layers of soil, and then we'd hit rock. Just like that, if we go all the way down here, if we started digging down here at this lower plane here, we'd also have 5 layers or so of soil, and then we hit rock. As it makes a transition up this cliff, it's maintaining that. It's doing knitting together, so it's not just going to go a sudden drop. So you'll notice it's kind of sandy loam all the way up this cliff. So at any point during this, I could dig down 5 or 6 layers and finally find rock. That also means if I started digging down here, I ran a stairwell straight down from my embark location, I'd probably hit rock, maybe in a 7 or 8 levels, depending on how this stitched together. And then if I went all the way down, say 10, 15 layers, if I cut left this way, I would go back into soil. If I cut right, I'd be more guaranteed to be rock. So here's what's cool about that and why we can take advantage of that. I want us to enter down here. I want to build an entrance at the bottom. One, because I think it just thematically it looks cool. So I think we're going to carve out some of this rock and make a little more a gouge into this mountain of sorts that we can make an entrance. There, though, I'm going to have to dig down probably 4 or 5 layers, so I'm going to build some ramps and dig down to make a nice smooth entrance into it. Once I hit rock, I know I'm rock all the way to the right. As I dig down and build a fort, I'll be able to come back up here on this side and hit rock much higher, so I can put bedrooms digging up as well as down from my main fortress layer. So that means I can put bedrooms up, bedrooms down. I could take advantage of some of those efficiencies of a vertical fort, though I'm not necessarily a fan of vertical forts from an aesthetic standpoint. But we could take advantage of that. Now, first and foremost, though, what are my goals here? I want to build a fort. As I said, I want to build a tavern-based, entertainment-based fort. I've named all of my dwarves. I find it's easier if you name them to keep track of them later on, especially your initial 7. Our primary dwarf we're watching here is Donna. I've made her our manager, so she is handling the manager, broker, and bookkeeper jobs for now. I'm not going to give her any other jobs. So she has no other jobs. She is just the entertainer. All these other dwarves are here to serve her and help her get done what she needs to get done. So I've even marked her as she doesn't do anything. I've set all my miners are the ones who are going to do smoothing and engraving. So that's my builder core. I'll keep those guys throughout the entire fortress. Their job is to dig out and then smooth and then decorate, and the other dwarves will focus on the other aspects. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? And finally, I guess, this is Untamed Wilds. We want to remember that, and I think we're probably still alone here. Let's go to others. Nobody here yet, but I'm sure we'll get creatures soon. In an Untamed Wilds, you can get easy things and simple things. We could get regular animals, non-violent animals. We can also get giant versions of those animals. And right now with this version to our fortress, we can have some rather aggressive flying animals who can come at us. So I want to get my dwarves. Normally I'd do some setup right up here on the surface, but I don't trust the Untamed Wilds. So while I'm going to build a fort further down, I want to build a kind of starter, I don't want to call it fort, but a beginner base here that we can move our stuff down into, begin our work. So I want them to dig a little hallway here. We can put some doors, a couple traps as we start. Then we'll cut here, and let's just make ourselves a larger room. And we'll have a dwarf start working on that. We'll unpause that. Watch as they come down here. While they do that, okay, they're getting started with that. That'll free up enough space they can now start digging. We got four miners. They'll make quick work of this. They're already moving. Good clip here. Let's start building a couple workshops. We know we brought some milk. We brought some meat. We want to process all of that and get that into a stockpile quickly. So let's go to farming. Let's build up that farmer workshop and put it right here. Use some of those logs we brought. That's why I bring those logs. Done. And I'm going to make a stockpile. I don't want them to bring all the food in yet. I think it'll take too long. So I'm just going to do this. Go to accept, custom, go over to food. I'm only interested in, this is going to seem weird at first, but I'm only interested in cheese and prepared meals. So as I cook and make cheese, they're going to put it in this stockpile. That'll free up barrels, and they'll haul those things down. The cook will run up and down, and the cheesemaker will run up and down making these items, and they'll grab raw materials out of the cart. So let's set this. All right, that's all good. First and foremost, make cheese. Just turn all the milk I brought into cheese. And they'll work on that and then get that in there. So they dig this out. See, so we got some sand. It's already starting to knit those layers together. Let's build another workshop. I want 2 workshops. I'm going to want a carpenter. Brought him along for a reason. And I'm going to want a kitchen. Just put that right there. Now my miners are done. So I need to start forming out another base down below. All right, we're making cheese. You can see the cheese starting to show up there. We also have an empty barrel, so I'm going to haul that over to the stockpile in a moment here. Now, who's doing this? This is the stone carver. I don't want you doing that. Well, I'll just give you another job here. Let's go over to labor. And I'm going to make a new job. And that job I want to be my furniture maker. So I want stone carving, which is different than stone crafting, and carpentry. Those are the 2 primary furniture makers. So done. I'm going to name that furniture. Hope I spelled that right. And that's only done by this guy. Okay, so they're going to focus on that. I also want to focus some of my quality farming items. Where is it? Cooking. Cooking matters. Skill matters in cooking. So we're going to do that. It also matters in plant gathering. And I'll handle the farming. Oh, planters are over here. So we'll just do this for now. Let's call this kitchen staff. No, you know what? I'll just call it chef. That's fine. Chef. And the only one who's going to do chef is this guy. Okay. So now that we're doing that, if I assign this, prepare a lavish meal or 2, they'll start hauling that. All right. While they're doing that, let's pause this and run all the way down. Like I said, let's get rid of this tree here first, and then we're going to carve out some space. Okay, do that, and then let's go up 1, up 2. Miners, channel. Clean that up. down one. Again. Let's go wide on this. Get rid of all this. Want to make it nice and flat. Let's make us an entry point. I need this cut down. Who's not doing anything? Surely somebody's not doing something they should be doing. I had assigned cutting to my chef, but he's pretty busy. Let's also throw that on. Can't give Donna any work. The stone carver for a second. They must be hauling up there. Cookie's working there. They were making cheese. So if you look here, we already have some prepared meals. Got 13 prepared meals there. 4 there. So all good. Plenty of food. Drinks we'll work on in a second. We got to do a little playing with that. Good, cut down. So now, let's start digging a channel. I want to dig the channel 5 wide. I don't know how deep I have to go, so let's just make this pretty long. I'm hearing some howling. Just a giant mantis. Where are you? You're flying somewhere. Okay. Did you guys skip that? What did you do? Good, now. Still dirt. Do all but the side. Our cat is fighting. And we probably need to just make everybody a little safer in here. So, while I focus on that, I don't want to miss anything. Let's put together an order here. Work orders. First off, I need some beds. Let's just make 5 beds. Let's make a couple wooden bins. Just so I know we'll need some. While we're at it, let's just set the standards for that. Always keep 2 empty bins. I'm also going to need wooden table. Let's just make 4 of those so we can eat. And wooden it's wooden chair? Yeah, it's wooden chair. It's stone throne, but wooden chair. 4 of those. Let's get that done. That'll work through some of our log stockpile, but that's fine. And no, let's do it this way. You can do work orders in here directly. Lavish meals. Number. Make me 5 more. Let's see if that works on things. And we're going to finally make a zone. Thank you. Meeting area. This whole area is our meeting area. Just to tell people to hang out inside instead of hanging out outside by the cart. They can hang out in here. And we're making stuff here, making stuff there. So good. All right. That'll keep them busy. Now to get the miners back to working. Okay, we still had sand. So let's dig down further. Again, leave the last one. Okay, we're down to peat. Let's go down again. Down to sand, go down again. Oh, we're starting to hit some rock. I'm going to go down one more, because I want to make sure I'm firmly in a rock layer as I start to cut right. I don't want to hit one of those half-half mixes that they do. So let's do one more. And then we can start carving right and start carving out our fortress. Of course, I have to walk all the way around, but that's fine. Later on, we can build some security, use this cliff here and here, build some archery areas to shoot as people come in. All right, and there we go. We now have the entrance to our fort. So, how do we want to do this? What do we care about? Let's first just say we want to go 3 by 3 wide and just get inside. Then what do we want? We're going to want additional 3 by 3, and I'll connect that in a second. To make a little drawbridge we can pull. Well, how much room do we have here? Some room. I don't want to make this big. We'll make an area that if invaders come in, we'll divert them elsewhere. So we'll just do this. We have an area to gate in. Now, I want to make an area for a trader to come. So I think what I'm going to do is, I sketched out some things about how I wanted to draw this fort. Let me pause the video, we'll do a time jump, and get back to this momentarily. Alright, so I have kind of planned out my fort as I want it to sit. So let me talk you through what we're doing here. Entrance is here, obviously 3 wide, so that the carts can come in. Let me show you real quick. I actually set these with priority, so I want them to dig down the center first as best they can. These cutouts are so that I can chain some dogs who will see any intruders as needed. Then I'll carve out this center area first. Those have 1s and then 2s on the side, so I can start building some stoneworker shops to make some furniture. This is where the trade depot will go. So everyone coming in will go past the trading area. Later on, we'll store some goods for selling here, but for now, we'll just turn this into a area for all my craft dwarfs to work. Go around here, we can put some extra traps, so if they get past the guards and everything else, we can put a couple extra cage traps here. And then we have our large amphitheater dining hall. So this is going to have room for lots of tables and chairs, areas for statues along the sides here. I'm going to put some rooms off of these double wide ones, so we can build a lever room and what I call a small council room, where I first decorate with tables for the manager and the bookkeeper, etc. So they don't have to sit in the dining hall. They get their own shared office space. Then we get over to my temple complex. And the temple complex is something I like to do on all my builds. Though I'm going to build in a library, so I made a little bigger too. So we're going to have a split library down the sides, general temple down the middle here, and then they can build out these smaller temples as needed. If we dig them out now, when you get enough dwarves, you can immediately have the right size. You just need to decorate it to get up to the value you need. And we'll have a couple tricks we can do for that to make sure we can get the value in, including using placed stones or placed walls and floors. So my 4 miners are making pretty quick work of this. Let's them keep doing that. Let's jump up to over here. How's everybody doing down here? We have made a good amount of prepared food. Let's see. Here's all prepared food. Oh, don't dig that. Let's take a look-see. So lots of good roasts. Some of these are... what's the 16 one? So what do they make? Minced donkey cheese, superior sheep cheese, minced yak cheese. Okay, so that's why that's 16. That's a good bit. Almost time for us to start. We probably have a lot of barrels sitting around now. Right? Oh, not too many barrels. They used them here. They must be sitting up in our cart. Our cart still has a lot of stuff in it that we want to get inside. We also should have made all those tables and chairs. They're probably sitting in the carpenter workshop, along with some beds. So again, this is temporary. We'll move out of here soon. But let's place some of our furniture as needed. First, let's just throw some beds down. So if somebody gets tired, use closest material, keep placing. I just want to put these beds down. All right, so we got some beds. Let's zone that as a dorm. Except so people will sleep there and they'll feel okay with that. It's overlapping, but I don't care about the value right now. Now let's also, it's already a meeting location, but let's build the tables and chairs. Tables. We'll just put them over here out of the way. I believe I made 4. And chairs. Now they don't have to eat standing up, they can come sit down. Let's add in a still to get working on that. Put that right there. And let's see if they all come running and get some work done here. The miners are pretty busy. Carpenter is working on make bed. But when people get tired, they'll come up here and sleep. That'll be better than sleeping on the ground. Now we've made all the cheese. I don't know how much meat we have left. Let's take a look at our stocks. Oh, this will just be an estimate here. Meat. Oh, good. We have just enough for one more lavish meal. So let's make that. And then we really don't need the kitchen anymore. Then we need to do something else up here. So we have in here all the cranberries we brought. I want to turn those into drink. But if I just say brew drink, they say they don't have any. This is, again, still a flaw they have with the fruits you bring in the cart, you just can't brew. So there's a way to get around that. What we do is we want to make a dump zone first. So here's a garbage dump, 1 wide. Except we want to go into the cart, find our cranberries. Lots of barrels there now because they've emptied all the meat out of them. Did I miss them? Sorry, ale. Did we already eat them? Tuminous coal. Combat leather bag. Now I can't find them. That's interesting. Let me check our stocks here. Oh, there they are. All right. So you know what? Throw them all away. That's what I want them to do. Chuck them all. But they're not going to, because there's a labor standing orders for garbage. Ignore outdoor refuse. I want them to gather outdoor refuse for now. And they're going to come up here, grab the cranberries, and throw them away. So there's all the cranberries. Once that's done... Okay, so I stop that. We now want to return those back into good food, and they'll store more properly. So we want to unforbid these. So now they're good to go again. And if we go down... Go to our still. We can now brew drink from fruit. And let's just tell them to do that. All the fruit we have until they run out. And because these are stacks of 5, they'll make 25 cranberry wine every time. So we got plenty of food. We're going to make lots of drink. And our dwarves are happier. And let's set a stockpile in here as well. Well, actually, we can... Yeah, we'll make a new stockpile. We'll just put it right over here. Accept, custom, food, drink, all. You'll now see we have... Oh, they put the barrel there. Here we go. We're bringing the rum down. We're making the wine barrel here. All good. So, we now have a little safe hole. Oh, let's also tell our carpenter while he's at it. We could really use a door. And let's go check on our miners. They made pretty quick work of that. So we are ready to build workshops down here. Need a stone worker. We'll just throw it down here for now. So they made very quick work of that. And there's no reason not to be a little more aesthetically pleasing with your builds here either. I think it's valuable to not have just all straight block lines. You can do it, of course, but I think there's value in making your fort look better. You'll like it more if you make your fort look better. All right, so that's where we are for now. Gonna let them continue to make all these cranberries. I think they're done. Up, still working. Lots of cranberry seeds. I don't think we can grow cranberries here, though. You know, it's worth a shot just to try something here. But I'm willing to bet we can't grow cranberries in this biome. And I wasn't thinking that when I picked them. But let's throw down a farm plot. It will not be long-lasting. Yep, we cannot grow cranberries here. So we will not be able to use any of those seeds. We'll just let those go. But we will start looking around for what we do want to grow. So let me just destroy this. In the next episode, I'll probably talk about what we want to gather around here and why. Obviously, I'm going to grab some whipvine. I'm probably going to grab a cereal of some sort, a rice or a wheat. And I'm going to find a fruit that we can grow just for all of our drinking needs. But we'll handle that next time. So, in the meantime, we're going to end this episode here, and when we come back, I'm going to sketch out the next couple layers of this, and we'll talk about the flow of equipment and dwarves through the fort. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.